Hello, I'm Kristen Lee. This week, B at Mama Needs to Read Romance for her road trip staycation that she's been doing. We were in the south of the U.S. of North America, and I didn't know how I wanted to go about it. I came up with an idea to talk about trips past because I've driven through a lot of the states. But I thought it'd be more fun if I talked about the states that I've never been to. And I found like a tourist thing that interested me, for each state that I've never been to. And, I linked them in the description down below. So if you want to check out any of the websites, or for whatever reason you live near there and you've never heard of it, or you're traveling there and it's something that might pique your interest, it's a resource. For the scrapbook page for the week, I did this book. Finally, I got to this one. It's set in Texas. Oh, my nose is draining. And I think when I read Sounds Like Love, that was in North Carolina. So I read these two, and I'm just finishing Fried Green Tomatoes. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. I always forget about the scene where she's in the cellophane dress. I die every single time. And it's one of those like memorable parts, but I forget about it because by the time the movie's ended and Kathy Bates's character has had her character growth and you finally get the whole story of the Whistle Stop Cafe, it's just something that goes in the back of my head. So I love that movie. I listened to some Dolly Parton and a whole bunch of artists from the South. And what else did I do? Oh, and I cooked. So we went out one night to the Rattler, which is like a barbecue place near us. And they have great appetizers, and then they have their drinks in mason jars. And my dad got, what did he get? He got a full rack of ribs, and I got pulled pork, and it was fantastic. And then cooking wise, I did cornbread. This brand was fantastic. I will never go to another box again. I loved it. It's moist. I used the melted butter and the milk, and it was fantastic. What else? And then I made jambalaya. I made jambalaya for dinner with like corn and the cornbread and everything. And I think it's Zatarain's is the name of the brand. And I'm used to getting the rice and red bean one, and then making the stuff on the side, like kibasi and chicken and shrimp, and making it on the side and then throwing it in the pan. For some reason I was just going with the directions, and the directions said to throw the chicken and the kibasi, and I thought it said the shrimp too, all in the pan and cook it together. And then I had taken half of the other stuff. Long story long, it wasn't my best meal, okay? It looked all right, and it tasted all right, but it needed some love. It needed some more spice, and it needed something. My dad said tomatoes. I don't know. So I talked to a friend that lives down south, and she suggested some stuff for the next time I make it. But it worked, and we all ate it, but it wasn't what I was hoping for, because I've had like real jambalaya and gumbo when I've gone to New Orleans and stuff, and Florida, and it wasn't the same. Makes me sad. Anyway, so let's move on to the states that I've never been to and we'll see where. Let me know in the comments, where have you been? Do you suggest any of these places? Do any of these things interest you? And let's get going. All right, so first up, ironically, I've never been to DC. I've been through DC, but I've never been to DC. As far as I know, I've been to Baltimore, that's Maryland. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to DC. So I've always wanted to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival. It looks gorgeous. I love the pictures every year. And I always chicken out when I lived on the East Coast because I knew my allergies were going to not like me. But they're so pretty. And you have to like hit it at that right moment. And I've had friends that have gone for the festival part and there were no cherry blossoms. Unless it was like a fake tree that they'd done for like a photo shoot or whatever, at one of the vendors. So, I don't know. I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to the festival. And every year I was like, do I really want to? And then the other place that I've always wanted to go was the Library of Congress. I had so much fun with my friends, my booktube friends, when we went to the LA library. And that was only 8 floors, and we didn't hit all the floors. And the Library of Congress, I think, is its own block. And I just want to investigate. I want to check things out. Allegedly, if I remember correctly, they have every printed book that has been printed in the U.S. I believe in the U.S. I don't know if outside of the U.S. are there as well, but I believe anything that was printed in the U.S. is in that library, at least one copy. So I just want to see if they have Mafia Dark Romance. It'd be kind of cool. So I've always wanted to go. I've always told my friends and family, I was like, look, if you go and I go with you, I'm give me like half a day on my own. I'm just gonna go check this place out. So that's where I would go in DC. All right, the next stop is Kentucky. We're gonna bypass West Virginia. I'm not going to West Virginia. Never been there, not gonna. Nope, bad juju. I have no reason to go to West Virginia. I think the only time that I've gone through West Virginia is because we got detoured. But I would want to get my friend Bunny. She lives in Kentucky. And then we're all going to Dinosaur World. It looks so fun. I want to go so bad. I had so much fun at the dinosaur show that we went to, the experience thing. I want to go. I want to go to Dinosaur World. That's where we would go in Kentucky. All right, then we're going to go down and we're going to go to Tennessee. I want to go to Dollywood. I want to go to Dollywood. I don't know what I don't know. I want to go. I just want to say that I've gone. That's all I want. And then because I'm going to Dollywood, I also want to go to Graceland. My grandfather that passed away, he was a huge avid Elvis fan. His brothers were. I have so many memories of him singing with his brothers and my cousin Elvis songs. But the funny thing about my grandfather was he only knew like a few words, and then the rest was like do 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 do. Like he'd make up his own words. But he had a beautiful voice. And I would want to go to Graceland and get pictures, and if they're doing tours or whatever, I'd love to go there. And then I really would love to go to Smoky Mountain National Park. The pictures that I found were gorgeous. And honestly, throughout our country, we have some of the most beautiful, amazing national parks. The pictures are just gorgeous. Like, and when I've had friends that have talked about certain places, it's just, I don't know. I want that experience. So I would triple up on my allergy meds and go to this national park just to see the views. And probably would make a lot of, oh my God, Bob Ross jokes. Especially when I get to the peak. Be like, look at all those happy little trees. So yeah, so that was Tennessee. All right, now we're going to Georgia. The aquarium there is huge. I think it's one of the few in the country that have a whale shark, or have a tank big enough for a whale shark. And I think the reason why they have the whale shark is the whale shark kept getting beached or something. I don't remember the actual story. I just know that the shark is there because every time they tried to release it, it came back. So kind of like the whale shark in Finding Dory that kept bumping into things. But it has some of the most amazing animals in a conservatory kind of thing, and the fact that they are accredited, at least last time I checked, to help with conservation and to keep animals out of extinction, so, and to educate and the whole nine. So I really want to go to that aquarium. And then the other place I want to go to is the World of Coca-Cola. Danielle went with her family when they went to go visit family. And I love the pictures that she got. It looked fun. And like, I want to go to the big part where you could like create your own Coca-Cola drink. I know that you can kind of do that at like Five Guys, or certain places that have the soda fountain where you can push all the buttons, but I don't know. I want to go. Then we're going to Alabama, and I want to go to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Just looks really cool. I like going to the observatory here, and I don't know, I just think that they're really cool, that things that I watch on the movies and stuff like that are real. So I would definitely put that on my to-do list. And then I don't know if I'm saying this right. It's Ave Maria Grotto, I think is the name of it. It just looked cool. I think it's worth walking through and checking it out. I didn't do too much digging to check more things out, but it looked really cool. So those are the places that I would go to in Alabama. We're going to Mississippi, and we're going to go to the birthplace of Kermit the Frog. I want to go. Yeah. I don't think it needs any explanation. I just want to go. And then the other place was the Windsor Ruins. It looked really cool. Like both of them. It's because they were cool that I was like, yeah, I would go there. I would totally make a day to go there. Yeah. I would just especially Kermit the Frog. You know, to see him on the little log and everything. Yeah, that's my pick from Mississippi. Arkansas was tough. Um, there's a lot of national parks and things to do outdoorsy. Um, I picked the Blanchard Springs Caverns. Um, but yeah, I don't know. If you've ever been to Arkansas, what would you do? What are some of the things that I should do if I ever go? Um, we're going to Oklahoma. We're going to sing the musical, and we're going to go to Crystal Bridge Tropical Conservatory. It looked gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Sign me up. I want to go. And then we're going to go to the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. And I'd be curious if it's anything similar to some of the Western museums that are in California. But it looked pretty neat. And I would like to see some of the history that I don't know, and just to see what they have in the museum. So that's what we're doing in Oklahoma. The last state is Texas. Now, Texas is ginormous, okay? There are a lot of things to do in Texas. There's Houston, there's Dallas. They're nowhere near each other. I think my dad said when he drove coast to coast, it took him 2 days to get through Texas if he went the long way. If he went like up and over, or yeah, I think he went up and over like through Oklahoma. But it's huge. It's absolutely huge. They have, you know, on one side of the coast, or in the coast part near the Gulf, they have beautiful beaches. And then as you go more inland, there's national parks and cities and all that kind of stuff. And then as you go up more, there's more stuff to do that kind of like high fives Oklahoma. So there was a lot to pick from. But the two things that I picked was the San Antonio River Walk. That looked really cool. I would like to see the Alamo just because it's part of our history, and I would like to see what's left of it. I know that with all the crazy weather they're getting, I don't know if it's damaging any of what was there. So I don't know. I would like to see it. And then because it's a road trip, we got to stop at Buc-ee's. I want to stop at Buc-ee's. So when I did Mary Kay, my most of my team was based in Texas, and my team leader was from Texas, and she was like, when you come here, you got to go to Buc-ee's. I'm going to take you to Buc-ee's. And she was explaining it to me, and I'm like, it's like the ultimate 7-Eleven road trip stop type place. It's got everything that you would want. You can get a car wash, you know, all these things. So I want to go. One of the guys on TikTok that I follow, the older gentleman that rocks out to just rock music, he got to go, and he got himself a onesie, and he was all excited. I'm like, it's a rest stop that has onesies, okay? So I want to go to Buc-ee's. I know that there's a bunch in other states, but I know like the really big one is in Texas, and I want to go to that one. So, what was the other thing? I gotta check something. I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I got the name right because I messed it up on Bees Live. But our bus driver, because she's made a story for our bus drivers for the road trip, and they're all driving different types of buses. And this week, the bus driver's name was Thorn, and he was part Fae, and we had this like magic bus that was just bringing us everywhere. And I just wanted to share it because she's gotten really creative with the story. And it was just really cool. And I'm like, you know what? If he was our bus driver, we could totally do everything that I just told you in no time. Some of them we could do it in the same day because we'd have a magic bus. But yeah, so that was, those are the picks that I would have. Like I said, let me know what you would pick. If you've been to any of these places, please share them, because some of these things that exist, I'm like, I had no idea. No clue. So yeah, so that was the South, and next week is the Midwest. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Never been anywhere in the Midwest that I know of. And so it might be another video like this. I have no clue. I do have my cheese curds. I was told to get cheese curds, and they had them at Sprouts, so I got those. It says Wisconsin, so I should be good, right? I think. I don't think my family's going to like it if I make a bunch of casseroles. But to be continued. I hope you're having a great day, great week, great start to your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.